Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Elias and welcome back to Anti-Material Energy. In the last episode, we were working on a couple of things, trying to get a good bit of iron so that we can actually do some stuff, as well as we've been trying to, get plenty of, power, more smeltery stuff, just kind of a bunch of different things. And we decided to get into a little bit of equivalent exchange last time. And we're going to continue with that just a little bit today, as well as a handful of other things. So one of the first things I want to do, I've got a bunch of cactus. We're going to start, let's see, wood input. So that'll start cooking up all the cactus. We'll get a bunch of, we'll get a bunch of the one stuff, the dye, and then we can cook that up, and that should be another quest for us. So we had made the sag mill. We've been working on just trying to get power. That was the big thing last time. We're starting to run out of power for our applied energistic stuff, which is where we store all of our chemicals. So I have been working between episodes, just trying to get some more iron. Got a good bit of it, so let's just make all of it. Why not? 21 iron is not too bad. We'll get to using that in a little bit, but before we do, I want to talk a little bit about equivalent exchange. So I was looking into a bunch of different things with this, and one of the big things that I kind of discovered is, in order to make stuff, we're going to need a calcinator. So if we look at the alchemic coal, which is what we needed, we need to have coal, and then one of like 4 different things, either verdant dust, azure dust, or minium dust. But how do you get those? Well, basically the aludel, whatever this thing's called, you use a fuel to burn some sort of dust with a reactant. So if we look at all the recipes for this, there's not that many. We can turn coal into alchemical coal, and then alchemical coal into Mobius fuel, and that into Aeternalis fuel. We can make chests of different sizes. We can make the minium stone. We can make the tome of alchemical knowledge, alchemical bags of different sizes, it looks like, and ashen fused stone. So how do we get all of these dust stuff? Well, verdant dust requires calcination, and this is similar. We are going to be burning different things with different energy values. So all of this stuff has different energy values. As you can see, kind of what they have, and we burn that and we'll get some sort of dust. So that's what we need to do. That is the plan, and we're going to make the calcinator so that we can start burning some stuff today. So we need 3 of these, and we need some stone. Alright, so let's make the calcinator. There we go. And I don't believe this needs anything else, so we're just going to put this down right here. And we can start smelting up various things. So is this done? Cool. So let's make this smart. One, two, three, four. Cool. So just cook these guys up again. And they should end up in here, I think. Right? Yes. So that's what we want, but we'll get to that in a second. Something else I want to do real quick is we have the biome painter. We have 14 more biomes that we can paint. Let's grab 14 more dirt so that we can expand the stuff over here. So eventually my plan is we're going to, this entire chunk is going to be plains. I want to get more animals, which is why I want to do this. But so right here, F3, Mushroom Island. and we'll change this stuff. We have 8 more, so let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will tell you guys what, kind of between episodes, I will make more of these. And this stuff gives light off, which is nice, the anti-blocks. So I don't have to really worry about that too much. And getting iron with the seared stone actually gives us a ton of silicon dioxide, which we can then use to get dirt. So silicon oxide. How do we get? Let's look up. We don't need the calcinator anymore. Let's look up dirt. So dirt is what? It is silicon dioxide. So silicon dioxide. So we get a stack of each, and that gives us a stack of these, and then we can make dirt. So that's kind of the idea there, and we'll kind of continuously do that as we go. But this thing is done. We can cook it into ash if we want to, but it's not really useful anyways. So let's take a look at the quest book. And I can always make more of these guys. These guys were not too bad to make. It's just a bunch of chemicals. So nothing really difficult there. It's just kind of tedious. Alright, so put that back there. Let's put this arrow away in the wrong place. Okay, so if we take a look at, let's take a look at alchemy. So what is the very next thing we want to do is alchemical coal. So in order to get alchemical coal, we need verdant dust. We need a lot of verdant dust, or azure dust, or minium dust. Well, how do we get minium dust? Minium dust is only made from really high level stuff, or azure dust, which is kind of mid-tier. So let's take a look at some of the stuff we have. I don't think any of these have any exchange values, so let's take a look at some of this stuff. Is this zinc stuff is really good. Wow. Is it useful for anything at all? We can turn it into other things. But what's the recipe for it? Why is it so... It requires ink sat. It requires some sort of dye. It requires these, which requires steel, or a block of iron and a block of coal. Well, that would probably do it. So let's get some fuel, and let's see if actually. Let's go ahead and grab a couple fuel out of here. And we can turn that into a bunch of fuel that we can use for both of these guys. So let's try calcinating one of these and just see what happens. I don't really care about the blocks. I don't plan on making anything look nice, so it's just a matter of what can we do. And that is going to give us ash. Dang. Alright. So if we want minium dust, this could be really good. Let's see the recipe for it. Emerald blocks. So we're gonna need like some major stuff. I wonder if, let's see, diamond. Would a diamond get us something good? It would. So we need to check this. I think that's the key. So, how do we want to do this? Excuse me. Let's see how we want to do this. So, lava stone will give us ash. Dandelions will give us ash. See, signs will give us ash. That's a bummer. We have anything in here? No. Alright, so let's take a look at some of our... How about wheat? wheat will give us ash. Ugh. No exchange. Item value 140s, 16s. Most of these are going to be pretty low, just because. So 144. If we look at this, it'll give us Verdant dust, which is nice, sure, but not particularly useful at this point, because it requires half a stack of that to get what we want. So charcoal might be halfway decent. Let's take a look. Nope. Because it is fairly easy to get, it's just going to give us ash. And can we use ash for anything good? Once we have the Philosopher's Stone, sure. We can make stone out of it and netherrack and all sorts of things. But other than that, we'll be turning ash into other things and not anything good. But iron is probably pretty good. Let's take a look. It will give us Verdant. Alright, so we're going to need some stuff that's really good. What kind of elements do we have that we can do something cool with? So carbon, we have a ton of carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first of all, we're going to need some coal. Let's get a stack of coal. Well, let's get a little bit of coal. And then if we get carbon nanotubes, can't we turn these into diamonds? And if we can, it's 3. Okay. So we can get a single diamond. And it's in the middle. Huh. That's strange. There we go. So we have a diamond. We can actually look at this. Make sure we know how to make it. And if we do the uses of this, it will give us MineChem dust. So let's do that. So what do we need? We need 1 alchemical coal. We'll get some other stuff with it. But in order to get this from MineChem dust, it's 4 coal. So we'll put 4 coal up here. We have our MineChem dust. We can do this, and this will give us 4 alchemical coal, which is really, really cool. Now here is a question. So these are 32. We infuse it with the MineChem, and then can we burn this? That just becomes ash. So you can't like duplicate it or anything. That's a bummer. But there is the alchemical coal. We're going to get a little bit more plus some ash and verdant dust. And we need some other things now. So we're going to need a MineChem stone, which is going to require a lot more MineChem dust. As well as look like we're going to need the tome, which another MineChem dust. If we can get some azure dust, so that's going to be gold. Gold will be azure dust. All right, so that will be something that we can deal with very soon. Okay, so there was something else that I had noticed. Let's put the coal away. So it had said look at carbon nanotubes. So if we look at carbon nanotubes, there is a couple more capsules we can make. So the one that's kind of interesting to me is the hell capsule. So that's going to require 6 stacks of gold, half a stack of carbon, and a lot of barrel. Wow, that's going to be a pain to get though. Emeralds are not fun, so let's start moving on to some other things that we actually can do. But that'll be something great, because what we can do is we can have another biome that's going to be specifically just the nether, and that's going to give us access to gold. That's going to be our gold farm. So let's back out of that. Let's go back here, And what I want to do now is I want to make the alloy smelter. So that's the next thing on the list. Let's get rid of these two. So the next thing on the list is the alloy smelter. So we're going to need 8 iron. So let's make the... Of course, it's not that way. I always get mixed up on the machine chassis. We need that. We need 4 more, plus we need 7. So we're going to need a cauldron. And something that's going to come up fairly soon is we're going to need a lot, and I mean a lot of that one stuff. We're going to need a lot of power. Yeah, that's that one stuff. So we need 3 furnaces. So 1, 2, 3. And there is our alloy smelter. Awesome. So that's going to give us a reward bag. That's nice. And that's going to unlock access to calculator. Alright, that's how we do it. Alright, so if that's an input, turn that to an output. Actually, we'll keep that to an input. And what we can do is we're just going to put our alloy smelter right back here. We'll get this all nice and neat later. As of right now, it's not that much of a concern. So let's open a reward bag. We get some agon. Okay, more decor. More decor stuff I'm probably never going to use. Question. Uses. So cobblestone, if we get stacked cobblestone to a degree that's worthwhile, we can make a lot of stuff. So quadruple compressed cobblestone will give us azure dust, whereas triple will give us verdant. So that's some things that's good to know. I don't know why these say that they have so much more equivalency than they do, but that's a shame. Anyways, that is kind of awesome. And now the other thing that I kind of want to look at is how difficult is it to make an inscriber? Just a bunch of iron, which we don't currently have all that much of. So let's see, it's 16. So we can get 4 more iron, which isn't bad for right now, but we only have like 8 iron lying around. And making this is probably not going to be the best thing right now. If we want skystone, that's going to require white anti-material, which I forgot to do this. Let's just make sure all the scripts are reloaded. So that is white anti-material and carbon nanotubes, and we need to make 5 of those. I think we can handle that. So do we have 3 carbon nanotubes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so there's the 5, and then we just need the white anti-material. So anti-material, we have plenty of yellow, by the way, is what's going to give us a lot of good stuff for, like, oh, if we want to make plenty of how do I want to say this? If we want to make plenty of gold, that's going to be how we get our gold. So there's 1 skystone. Let's go ahead and look at that so we can learn that recipe. And we just need more white anti-material. So let's get a stack of it. And this we can probably use for not much, but we can get some interesting things from it. So there's 19 more. And that's not quite enough either. So we just need 5 of these. So let's go ahead and cycle through the rest of this anti-blocks. Now here's a question that I have. I feel like we've looked it up, but I want to know what it's going to take. So there we go. We're going to get a bunch of different things, which is kind of nice, but it's going to stop us there. This is tin and a piece of wood. I think we can handle that. Alright, so let's put the skystone away. The dry fixture can go in the tech stuff. And we have another basic reward bag. So hopefully something good. Calcium carbonate. That's actually not terrible. So something I'm wondering. Oh, we're full. What are we? Full of number of items? Yes. So, what's something we can break down? Let's break down all the cellulose. We don't really need that much of that ever. So just put it in there. And that will do its thing. Now can we put all this in here? No. So we're going to break down all of the silicon oxide, which this stuff is not particularly useful for anything at all, other than it's a good source of silicon and oxygen, so that's nice. Anyways, let's get this taken care of before I forget about it. So we should have enough cactus stuff to make compressed cactus charcoal and double compressed. Perfect. So that is in this part, the charcoal. We'll claim this reward. We get another reward bag. This one's good. We got more decor. Alright, so this is going to go over here. Actually, let's take all of these double... what do we want to do with the double stuff? Let's put them in here. So double compressed sugarcane. Now, is there a triple? No, but I know there's green fruit charcoal, which is zinc green. Hold on. Zinc green. Okay, so that is a good source of, it looks like cobalt and zinc. Awesome. That is good to know. Alright, so, more charcoal stuff. We'll kind of just get through all of that stuff eventually. I need some chickens to spawn, which is kind of why I want to expand the plains area over there and all that fun stuff. As you can see, I need to do my chores, but something I want to see if it's worth making. Let's get rid of the inscriber. It's going to require too much iron right now. Tool iron. Tool forge. Can we make a tool forge? It requires the typical things. Okay. So here's a question. Make it out of diamonds. Can make it out of tin. How much tin do we have? We have half a stack of tin, which is useful for making. So you can make bronze, but it's 16 each. You know, something I hadn't considered. We can make this tin powder. Does that duplicate at all? No. Alright, so... how do we make... okay, so there's tin. Now, here's a question. What's the recipe for tin? What's the best way to get tin? Obviously, tin ore, all that fun stuff, bronze, things that contain tin, black anti-material. Alright. And that looks like the main source. Okay, so, what is that? Radiant aluminum lamp. Yeah, so anything that contains tin is obviously going to give us tin. But it looks like the main source of it is, in fact, the black anti-material. So that's fine. Do we have any more? No. I was going to say that looked promising, and then I realized that nope. No, it wasn't. Alright, so we need more iron. Let's grab some more compressed cobblestone. And that will produce us, that'll give us plenty of stuff. So let's get 2 of these. And go ahead and put that in there for right now. So I need a lot of iron. I need 4 blocks of iron in order to get the tool forge. And the reason why I want a tool forge is, well, quite simply, it's going to give us access to some really good stuff. Specifically, I want hammers. So I will tell you guys what, I'm going to work on that between episodes. But let's see what else we can do. So what's the next thing in line for this part? So to get into calculator, we need the power cube, which requires conductive iron, which requires redstone and iron. And redstone, as we've seen, is kind of a pain to get, but iron oxide and copper. And the best way to get this stuff, there was something halfway decent to get copper. I can never remember what it is, but it's in redstone all the time. So what is that? Dimensional transceiver, the texture's missing. What was that? Okay, so paracel stuff. Yeah, a lot of this is gonna be kind of weird, but we should be able to get some really cool stuff once we kind of get through a little bit more. Okay, so copper, let's just look at copper sulfate, blue dye, specifically light blue dye, or anti-black material. Okay, or black anti-material, other way around. Alright, so what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and chisel some of this into black anti-materials. Let's take all of this stuff out, and I want to deal with this right away. And then that. And that's going to give us copper sulfate and some tin. So we'll take the copper. How much? We have a good bit of copper sulfate, so it's really just going to be a matter of trying to figure out kind of the best things to do with all this. So copper sulfate, because if we want to get redstone, we need copper iron oxide, iron oxide. So we're gonna need more iron, of course. You know, we should scan some tin in here just so that we have a pretty complete journal. But yeah, the copper sulfate, we can get a good bit of copper at least. And sometimes I wonder, like, what's going to be the best way to deal with a lot of this stuff, whether it's going to be to, let's see, do we have any more iron in here? We have a little bit. So if we want to make the power cube, we're going to need 8. Need oxide. We're going to need 8 redstone. So it's iron, redstone. Let's see. I've already forgotten. Iron 2, oxygen 3. Alright, so we need 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. And then one of those. And just to make sure, we're going to scan that. Now I wonder if we should be able to make more of these later, which would be really nice because that way we can kind of, well, to put it simply, we can just kind of hopefully it copies. Like, I don't know exactly how those books worked, but if it works how I want it to, which would be really nice, we should be able to just do something where we can just exchange books and then have kind of more automation. Because eventually, we'll make more of this stuff. We can't right now because it's way too expensive, but eventually. And then we have 8 iron exactly. So we just need another capacitor. So we'll work on that while we're waiting on this. So alloys. This ran out of lava again. I believe we can just right-click this guy. No. Alright, so why don't you want to push lava in there? We should have... See, I don't like using fluid conduits because they're really, really bad. But we can't afford the next tier. So why aren't you... It should automatically output. Maybe we just need to hit this guy a couple times. No idea. And that's a bummer because, well, it's kind of a tricky thing. So we want to make a power cube. Or do that. We're going to need a capacitor, which is silicate, and 8 titanium. Alright, so if we have titanium... Oh my gosh, I can't hover over that. We have plenty of titanium. We just need silicate, which we have. And there are the 2 capacitors. Again, we're going to scan them just to make sure we have. And once we have all this stuff, we'll be good to go. So these guys aren't actually doing anything currently. The survivalist generator is, but we can bump up power. So we just need to wait for the conductive iron, which I want to make sure we try to scan. I guess that was a visual bug. There was no lava in there. That's something we're going to want to do. Let's go grab some cobblestone. And let's go ahead and just put a full stack in there. Why not? As we get more power, then it's not going to matter in the long run. But let's go get a bunch of stacks of this. So I want to make as much compressed cobblestone as I can. And we'll just do this. There's a stack. Another stack. And do something like that. How much do we want to do? Let's do like 1, 2, 3 more. That way we have a little bit of cobblestone for ourselves. And then we can do this. Get a bunch of double compressed. And this can be used to make verdant dust. We want to make more. So there's a triple compressed. And that will be used to make what? Also verdant dust. So it's quadruple compressed cobblestone will make the next to make the minium dust. So we'll kind of forget about that, to be honest. Alright, let's cycle this. Get more iron. And this is done. Perfect. We can make the power cube. And here soon we can start getting into calculator. So that is that taken care of. We're going to get redstone. We're going to get charcoal. Awesome. Redstone's kind of the pain, and that's some more decorations that I don't care about. So I will tell you guys what. Let's put this stuff away. What's the next thing it wants us to do? The calculator. And the recipe for this is actually really, really, really cheap. It requires 1 piece of redstone, and the rest is just stone and cobblestone. So I will tell you guys what. I'm going to do some chores, chop down some stuff, go dig for a while. We need to get a bunch of iron. And once I do, should be able to do that thing where I can make the tool forge. And once we make the tool forge, then we can do some really fun stuff. So that's kind of the idea. I'm going to continuously kill mobs. I'm just going to kind of cycle through things, do all the fun stuff that I normally do. And next time, we will start looking into hopefully making the tool forge and maybe getting into calculator a little bit. We're going to just continuously do quests and see what we can do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!